A warm welcome to Chapter 7 Understanding Marginalization Part 1. Before going further, let us hear some interesting music.
Burubunga, nari podiye kan podalara podelaru chuchuda chagoni pita chagoni pita nari podiye kan podalara podelaru chuchuda chagoni pita
Wow, what soothing music it was! Thoroughly enjoyable. The first video that we saw was the anthem of the tribes of Orissa. The second was the tribal music all the way from Andhra Pradesh. And the third, dance and music, of course, we as Goan cannot forget. It's the tribal music of the tribes of Goa, the Kundis. In this lesson, we shall see and learn about the Adivasis, their religion, language spoken, their lifestyle, and the problems of marginalization they face in their everyday lives. The term Adivasis literally means original inhabitants. They are the communities who lived and continue to live in close association with the forest. Around 8% of India's population is Adivasis, and many of India's most important mining and industrial sectors are located in the Adivasi areas such as Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro, and Bhilai. Take a look at the map of India and locate the Adivasis areas of Bhilai, Rourkela, Jamshedpur, Bokaro. There are over 500 different Adivasi groups in India. Adivasis are particularly numerous in states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Tripura. A state like Orissa itself is a home to more than 60 different tribal groups. Take a look at the major tribes in India located all over the states of India. Now let us take a look at the religious beliefs of the Adivasis. The Adivasis follow a range of tribal religions that are different from Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity. Their practices often include worship of ancestors like village, nature spirit, mountain spirits, river spirits, animal spirits, etc. Adivasis have always been influenced by different surrounding religions such as Shakta, Buddhist, Vaishnav, Bhakti, and Christianity. During the 19th century, Many Adivasis had converted to Christianity, which emerged as a very important religion in the modern Adivasis' history. Now let us take a look at the languages spoken. Adivasis have their own languages. They have often deeply influenced the formation of mainstream Indian languages like Bengali. Santali has the largest number of speakers among the Adivasis. Let us go to the next topic, Adivasis and stereotyping. Stereotyping is when we fix an idea about a particular thing or person. In India, we usually showcase Adivasi communities in a particular ways. Adivasis are invariably portrayed in stereotypical ways in colorful costumes, wearing headgears, and through their dancing. But sadly, this is not so. This often wrongly leads to people believing that they are exotic, primitive, and backward. Often, Adivasis are blamed for their lack of advancement, as they are believed to be resistant to change or new ideas. Let us now go to the next subtopic, Adivasis and development. Forests were absolutely crucial to the development of all empires and settled civilizations in India. Metal ores like iron and copper, gold and silver, coal and diamonds, invaluable timber, most medicinal herbs, and animal products like wax, lac, honey, and animals themselves all came from the forest. In addition, the continuation of life depended heavily on forests that helped recharge many of India's rivers, and it is becoming clearer now that it is crucial to the availability of quality of air and water. Forests covered the major part of the country till the 19th centuries, and Adivasis had a deep knowledge and access to the most of these vast tracts of the forest till the middle of the 19th century. Adivasis today. Adivasis have been increasingly forced through economic changes, forest policies, and political force applied by the states and private industry. They have been migrating to live as workers in plantations, at construction sites, in industries, and also as domestic workers. For the first time in the history, they do not control or have access to the forest territories directly. Forest lands have been cleared for timber and to get land for agriculture and industry. You can see the sorry state in these pictures, where the land had been cleared for agriculture and industry. This is the reason why the Adivasis are forced to migrate to cities and other lands. Adivasis also have lived in areas that are rich in minerals and other natural resources. These are taken over for mining and other industrial projects. Powerful forces have colluded to take over the tribal land. Much of the time, the land is taken forcefully and procedures are not followed. According to the figures, 50% of the people displaced due to mines and mining projects are tribals or Adivasis. Losing their land and access to the forest means that the tribals lose their main sources of livelihood and food. Having gradually lost access to their traditional homelands, many Adivasis have migrated to cities in search of work where they are employed at very low wages in local industries or at buildings or construction sites. Huge tracts of their land has also gone under the waters of hundreds of dams that were built in independent India. In the northeast, their lands remain highly militarized. India has 101 national parks covering 40,564 square kilometers and 543 wildlife sanctuaries covering 1,19,776 square kilometers. 45% of the tribal groups in rural areas and 35% in urban areas live below the poverty line. Many tribal children are malnourished. Literacy rates among the tribals is also very low. When Adivasis are displaced from their lands, they lose more just than an income. They also lose their tradition and customs. Often, this practice of dispossession and displacement can be painful and violent. With this, we come to an end of the part 1 of our lesson, Understanding Marginalization. I hope you have understood this part. Thank you.